Welcome back to another 11 Rips. I'm 11. Let's light up and get it toasty right off the top. So check this out, right? I had a really good revelation today. And I said, I don't work for you anymore. I don't work for one-sidedness. I'm not out here as an ambassador of relaying any message, but to what my conscious expression has purposely chosen to focus on, not what's been programmed into my viewpoint from these channels that I've been relying on, like different forms of media. I don't work for you anymore, you know? And the next thought after that is, then what are you out here saying? What are you out here being about? And it's the most freeing thing in the world to just be like, I don't know and I don't need to know. I'm being, because you're assigned a label. You didn't create the label. You're assigned a label, and I've had many experiences in my life where I've seen the benefit of one-sidedness only being capitalized on by those at the very, very tip top of a situation. It's always both. It's just always both. It's always both. The person, the individual, you're the creator. There is a field of infinite energy constantly responding to you. So you are a receiver and an experiencer of these senses. Explain the taste of chocolate to a spirit form. Cannot. Right? So you are also sending sine waves from your creator, from your being. If we all decide to send a message into this field that is taking notes from us with an intention that we created, that we weren't just relaying. We think we have original ideas. We don't. We share sentiments, but there's only so many ways to say things in language. And once you're assigned something, you are bound to looking at it one way, it seems. But if you don't accept that, I got a good quick little story about this. So me and Winnie met in an improv troupe. And the beginning of the end of that troupe was when the founder separated the group into those who were A, the group was called A, and those who were B, and that group was called B. And group A got to play every show, so they got the most money because they got the most cuts. It wasn't a lot, but it was the most. They got the most stage time, which is really what everyone was after. And they got favored to create games, I guess, like decide which games were going to be played in our theater sports group, which was fairly actively getting bookings in like weird ass places in like suburbs, but it was still fun. It was new. And I was put in the A group. I was put on the privileged side. And there was, I think at this point there was like 12 people in the group and 5 were in the A group. And I think there was just less. There was just a less amount in the A group. And that was kind of like the starting lineup. And everyone was just like, okay, yeah, I'm cool with this. And then most of the B's just kind of felt, and Winnie was in the B's. And another guy who I thought was really funny, Ryan, he was in the B. And for all measurement purposes of getting the biggest reaction out of crowds at live shows, it wasn't unjustified. But you can't value people based on some sort of linear measurement. At least that's not the way I've seen success built. So Everyone agreed with this, and I was the only one out of the group that did not agree with this. And especially out of the A's, because everyone was just like, oh, thank you. And I just didn't feel as much synergy with those people. I didn't think that they weren't great improvisers. They were good improvisers. We were all in a group together. It was all right. But like that separation and hierarchy of what one can do and what can one do, it's not even like, don't try and follow and justify it and figure out like why it's appropriate. Think how that feels. You know? I don't know. It's not right. So I didn't like it. So I pretty much sacrificed my position from it, even though they still kept me in it. But I was like, well, just trade me out sometimes for Winnie or for Ryan, who was the other guy who I thought was really funny. I don't know what that did for the health of the group, because months later, pretty much all the A's sat me down and they were like, you're just too much for the group. And I was like, fine, I'll leave. No problem. I should be doing stand-up anyway. So my nature of this kind of self-proclivity isn't new. It's always been there. I've always wanted to figure things out for myself, mainly just because school didn't give me the resting reason to trust. Most of these hesitancies to blindly comply with political impulses that I have been here for decades. My dad instilled this stuff in me when I was a kid. There's nothing I can do, you know? I'm kidding. There is something I can do, and I'm doing it. I'm exploring it and sharing it, and that's really fun. But I mean, while we're here, let's just visit the obvious elephant in the room. Is the situation with the with humans feeling very right wing or left wing about certain restrictions and mandates and stuff. And I just gotta say, like, that left wing, right wing thing is, as much as I use the language myself, it's only gonna poison us further. We gotta remember we are all human, and some of your values land on this label, and some of your values land on this label, and that's okay. And it's good to be a dynamic individual. Hi, Ralph. I'm a flexitarian. Sometimes I feel like eating vegetarian, so I order that. And then people will give you that label like, you're a vegetarian? How long? Why don't you just hit me with all your vegan rants? I'm like, no, I just want the vegetarian dish tonight. You know, it's all good. Eat it all. I don't eat that much meat, but when I do, I enjoy it. It's great. I listen to my body. So getting over this whole border system, I was listening to some stuff from the future. I'll explain another time about the content I digest. But there's someone who's seeing glimpses of a timeline manifested future. And they're talking about a floating city and a central computer built of crystalline, which locks into our crystalline grid that is overlaying the earth. Once we all share a conscious awareness, which is probably in several hundred years, we will inevitably all feel that crystalline grid lock in and conjoin. And ever since 2012, it's been happening, and we're going through right now the World War III that has been prophesized to be brief but important. And I hope that this really gives us the fuel to propel us forward to make these realizations that we're consciousness, we're the creator, you know? What you see out there isn't real. What you create and the perception inside you is real. And you send it and it manifests. And there's like a trillion ways to say this, but such a tiny, specific way for a human to be able to hear it. So here's what I do know about folks who have handled the situation of our recent events very compliantly. They've had to buy in, because what has been stripped of them and their privilege means a shattering reality for them. One friend was told that she couldn't have her family in the room when she gave birth. That could be very hard for your heart. And if that's what it means for you, then it better mean something fucking intense for the rest of people. And one friend of mine his business just fucking bled him dry for a year, And I see a business owner trying to just follow enough rules to keep as many patrons as possible and not, look irresponsible. But can I actively conjoin with how these people are proceeding? No, because it doesn't agree with my personal philosophy that is constantly maneuvering in its conscious self, but where you place your talent, energy, focus, and involvement, that's your currency, and you get to choose. And you don't have to be personally offended. You don't have to be against those people. You can find a way to still support them. But you don't have to change how you would do something just to fit into an idea. We're going through this with body positivity. You don't have to be a stick figure to be hot. We're learning this, We knew this. We've always known this. Like what? Fat people never had sex? What the fuck do you mean? We've always known this. But I know it's so harsh to say. It's intense. But we are going to realize that it's a polarity game. It's just blue and red. It's a different shade. It's literally like those two ideas. It's yellow and green. It's just, aren't you glad that there's both? When you look at a painting, aren't you sick? Those colors really pop. Why does pink and black work well? Pink and yellow. Shout out Ghost Traps though, for real. I had a couple great discussions today, and I went out there today, and it was beautiful. And people, it's just great. We're a little bit in our heads, but we're getting back to our hearts, and it feels inspiring. Yeah. I just wanted to own my power again into where I place my attention. And I wanted to say that I don't work for you anymore. I don't work for theories that I feel may be true because they confirm what I already suspected. It's not my job to inform what people should or shouldn't know on their journey. And I hope that we all share sentiments of that nature together. And the more you try and control and enforce, you're not affecting those folks in an authentic way. Even if you're trying to force some sort of self-awareness, you're coming at it like this as opposed to like this, And once we realized that the labels were just a ploy to utilize our attention as a mechanism, has a function to it. And a lot of it is displacement of attention, to be honest. But it could just be considered another theory, right? This is nature. We are nature. The ebb and flow, the pendulum swings. It's kind of beautiful. As long as it's coming from an authentic place, I feel it's beautiful. Because once you're just relaying a message that feels like it would win you an argument at the water cooler or something, you're perpetuating a real problem. Yeah. And it's not a shot. I've done it too. I've put a group of people down because of choices they've made. And it didn't feel right immediately. You know it. You've done it too, probably. And immediately you were like, what am I going to do with this? What is my spirit going to cash this in for? with the divine, with the infinite. You know, my blurb of consciousness, you know, I go to sleep and I take that one. It just gets, it's in the trash. It's garbage thought form, but it's still thought form. And we're still creating a frequency of vibration that we put out there in this field around us. And furthermore, into the collective quantum. And momentum is built from that. And realities are built and stemmed from that. They are built on that. So the power is yours. The power is mine. The power is Ralph's. And without sounding like a fucking tacky marketing ploy, we're in this shit together, whether we like it or not. That's what the ending should have been. We're all in this together, except what, you fucking politically driven fuck? We're all in this together, whether we like it or not. You can't say that somebody's wrong because they made a different choice than you. That's over. The new earth is here. That harsh degradation of things you disagree with, it's over. Congratulations. You made it through the dark ages. It's time to forgive and let go and be together again. And that doesn't mean put yourself in situations where you can be attacked either. You know? Shame isn't part of the game. So don't feel it for yourself either. But I don't fucking work for you anymore. I'm not your ambassador. Best marketing campaigns are ones that make consumers ambassadors. Most respectable character trait, just keep it G. Do what you do it on your own time. Contribute to others when you can in a positive light. How nice is that? How cool is that to live that way? You know? I've been adapting this mental framework that I got from, several books. Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People. But I was talking with my buddy Jag about how folks are in, say, Mexico and in the service industry, and they're so accommodating. They say, like, how may I help you, sir? How may I help you? Just, how may I help you? How may I contribute to your life, you know? Is it getting right with me on some 11 rips? Is it some mindful stuff? Is it a book? Is it, you poke around, you give value, you try things out, you try it for yourself. And you'll surprise yourself in all the ways that you have something to give. And that's such a nice, beautiful way. And I'm putting labels on who you will or won't give, and separate and all this, and it's just whoa, too much. What if you just go with every situation with, how may I help you? How may I like contribute something of great energy to you today? How nice would that be? And I gotta say, I've been living with that kind of mental mantra, and like really cool things have been happening. Kind of just popping out of nowhere too, in ways I wouldn't expect them to. So bravo, cheers to that. I hope you guys are staying in a nice harmony with your higher being, which would really not put any limitations between the love you can feel for anyone, anywhere, doing anything. That true conscious love, Yeah. Yeah, that's the rip. There's the rip. Went for a rip, bud. Love you guys. Make sure you tune in to the most recent episode of the podcast. Man, our episode with Eben was awesome. And we take some suggestions from you guys in our most recent episode. That was awesome. We'll do that again. We'll do a live stream in that. Okay, stay high, guys. I love you. Bye.